As you're getting used to signing 2013 on various documents, we are ready to talk swimming on Cards TV. With the head coach at the University of Louisville, Arthur Albiero, I'm Sean Moth. It is great to see you again, as always. And Coach, we go back, I mean, you guys have been training since, heck, September, August, but your season really gets down to things once the calendar turns. With that being said, there were a couple of huge dual meets in the fall and a couple other competitions that you guys went to. And overall, it appears that you guys have had a really good start to the 12-13 season.
We have, and interesting point you make, because it is the fall is a lead up. It's a setup, and it's a chance for us to really make a lot of adjustments, especially with our freshmen. I think it's a whirlwind of changes for them in so many areas, and in training specifically when it comes to performance. So it's the adjustment, and you can see them coming together, understanding the training, understanding how we do things, how we go about preparation, and really to see the upperclassmen making big shifts from the previous seasons.
There are obviously the usual characters that we've seen in the past, people like Joao De Luca on the men's side, and Giselle Cahoyta and Tanya Kulianen on the women's side. There are some new faces. You talked about the freshmen making adjustments, and they've adjusted very well. You've got some newcomers on this team that have made some great marks. Talk about some of those individuals.
Yeah, we felt really good about this freshman class when we signed them. More than anything, we felt these kids were hungry. They had the right heart that fit our program, and certainly talented. And I think you see the combination of all those things. It's a hard-working group. It's a blue-collar group, but it's a group that no frills. They come to play, they come to work, and they really have bonded together as a class. Have great pride in that, and they love being Cardinals. So you can see once they understand, they start understanding that you're swimming for your team here. It's a little bit different than high school swimming, than club swimming. This really means a lot more, if you will. And they really have used that environment. We always talk about using the environment, use the surroundings to enhance your performance. And they've done a great job with that. And I would mention Kelsey Worrell on the women's side, who really had a breakthrough summer coming in. Really, she's just gotten better and better since we signed her. We got lucky. Yeah. When we signed her in November, she was good, and then she's just continued to get better and better. Nolan Tassone on the men's side out of Colorado. Kelsey from New Jersey. Really having a breakthrough year as really continued to improve every opportunity. Brian Draganowski, a distance guy out of Germantown Academy, great background in learning a lot on the college game, and Devin Bebo from Canada. It's a big group. I mean, there's a lot of names and a lot of kids doing well. I'm leaving a couple out. I apologize, but I think more than anything, what we really talked about from the beginning is this is a group that needed to come in and plug in.
Yeah.
Plug in with the returners, learn quick.
Yeah.
We told them we give you a semester to be freshmen, and after that it's time to be ready for championship.
Yeah. College athletics is so unique because rarely do you get to enjoy the past. There's certainly focus on the present, and you embrace the present, but so much is about the future. And over the course of time since we last talked, you also have signed recruiting classes for the men and women that will be here next fall and into next year and make that same transition. And I know you're happy with the depth of that group.
We are, and I have to say that our staff did a phenomenal job. They really did, of identifying people. I think that's something that as we continue to move forward as a program, the recruiting has changed in some ways, but in many ways it's not. It's still about the same thing. We're identifying a key person, a key personality that fits what we're doing, somebody who's hungry, who wants to be a part of a program that it's not okay with the status quo, and that requires a lot of different things, in all fronts, So the staff did a phenomenal job identifying those kids and really following through. And Coach Rachel Kamazares was a women's recruiting coordinator, really put together a great class, and Coach Ryan Wakamerka on the men's side. The two of them really were kind of the head behind the system, And you got to remember, I was traveling quite a bit all summer,
sure.
And they had to kind of hold the fort and keep me accountable too, and keep things set up. But we're really excited. This is a group that I think brings a little bit of everything. We're graduating a pretty substantial senior class on the men's side with 10 and 6 on the women. and very proud of this group of kids and what they've done for the program over the years. But really looking ahead, this is a class that's going to shift things.
Yeah.
And they come in with high expectations. That's nothing new.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the added excitement for this class is the whole idea of, you know, the future of a new conference. And really kind of raises the bar, you know. And for us, people ask me, you know, does that change now that you guys can, you know, you go into different conferences, does it change what you're doing? Does it change your recruiting? It hasn't, to be honest with you. And that's just because we have set our sights on what can we do on the national level, and recruiting that in that sense and pursuing, you know, trying to become a program that's doing things in the national level every year.
Yeah, Coach knows me so well. I put out a blueprint for what we want to do in the show, and usually I'll forget a couple of things. So he helps remind me. Let's talk about the ACC. Since we last spoke, obviously it's been big news for the University of Louisville Athletic Department to become full members for all 23 sports in the Atlantic Coast Conference, and that'll be coming up in the fall of 2014 into 15. So there's still some time before you make that transition, but there are some elite programs in that league, and nothing against the Big East, but it's a league that you've certainly had a dominant effort in. That transition's exciting for you and the squads.
Well, first of all, I think the Big East has been fantastic for us.
Yeah.
You know, and let's put things in perspective. This is my 10th year coaching here at U of L, and you know, when we first got here, we were in Conference USA.
Yeah.
And we had about a 2-year window to be ready for the Big East, and I remember the excitement. And quite frankly, the realization that, you know, as I'm taking the job and talking to Tom Jurish, and he's telling me, hey, we want to win the Big East. You're the man for the job. And I remember having that conversation with Tom, like, you know, you got to understand where you are a little bit. You were in the bottom of Conference USA. We got some work to do. And I'm so thankful. You know, the support that we have here is second to none. Certainly starting with Tom and Julie Herman. And, you know, and President Ramsey. How about President Ramsey coming to our meets and being a big part of everything we do as a program? So I think it all goes together, you know. But I equal that a little bit too when I first got here, and it gave us a clear target.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to the Big East. This is the level. This is what we're doing. It's black and white. And I feel like in some ways it's kind of like another little notch in that ladder to say, okay, this is – you know, the ACC is a deep conference.
Yeah.
Great respect for a lot of programs there. They have been dominant, not just in the conference level, but on the national level. And you know, certainly it will be an honor for us to be part of that group. And some great coaches, great names in our sport. So we're excited. You know, first things first. We're here in the present. You know, but certainly looking ahead a little bit of things to come. It's an exciting future for our program.
Yeah, let's talk about the present. The Cards coming off a big effort against a Cincinnati squad over the weekend that we talked about with Dr. Ramsey in attendance, and that was at Ralph Wright Natatorium. Next up is the opportunity for the men to go to the SMU Classic. The women have already competed. This is a while back, and this is a meet where you send 8 and throw them in, see what they can do. And I know that finishing 9th in the NCAAs and what you've done to build this program, when you guys walk into a pool with teams like that, people see that bird logo and they know who you are.
Well, and I think it shows that this is a very prestigious meet. Yep. And if you look at the programs that have been invited, I mean, it's been kind of the same group over the years, and we're very thrilled to accept the invitation to be a part of it. It's a very unique format, as you pointed out. You know, and they host it at their old SMU pool, so it's a 6-lane, it's a stadium style, it's a very unusual kind of meet, and it's time final. So, but we put together, we have one swimmer that goes in the B heat and one in the A heat, you know, or consoles in the finals, if you will, and that's it. That's your scoring. But the trick is, with only 8 swimmers, you have to cover the entire order of events, including 4 relays.
Wow.
It leaves you with probably a good 3 or 4, sometimes 5 spots that you have to have people to cover that come from different events.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a hodgepodge, and it's about versatility. You know, I struggle tremendously to put this lineup together. You know, and I'm pleased with what we have going into it. I think it's going to be an exciting chance for us to compete, but you know, almost like I'm thinking, man, if I could have 9 guys, you know, or maybe 10, you know, just 2 more, it could make a big difference. But with 8, it's tough because it's not necessarily our very best 8, but it's the 8 that can cover the lineup the very best, you know, and one diver. So it's a different event. It's a it's a chance for the guys to go in there and compete, and you know, we expect to go and swim fast.
Bring some tactics into coaching, and it certainly is a unique opportunity. And one thing will be guaranteed, that those 9 guys will come home and they'll sleep really, really well. So, Coach, best of luck to you and the squad at the meet. We look forward to talking to you all through the spring as we head to the NCAAs again.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
For Arthur Albiero, I'm Sean Moth. Thank you for joining us. Great to be back right here on Cards TV.